Welcome to the Forex, and here we're looking at the US dollar. It's a new contract, the September contract. There'll be a slight adjustment in price. Look, in a bit of a nutshell here, this market is still pointing to the upside. We don't have a breakdown. We don't have a clean 5 waves down yet. We could take this spike through here to have some sort of meaning in terms of an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down to here in 5 waves, which would be the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 to here, and then push to the upside. So in a bit of a nutshell, the market is above the 80, which is the closest largest number, so it is on the positive side. And then we're still above the 50-80 here, which is the next important number, apart from the 81 here, because it's in the center here, and 5 being the second strongest number. The other point here is the group 2 area, and what we're sort of seeing here as well, in a bit of a nutshell, we're seeing the trading rate, not so much a triangle pattern here, but just simply the trading ranges are getting diminishing. So it makes the group 2 here quite important for a breakout in a particular direction, and more so the 80-72 here, which is really a centerpiece within that construct there as well. This move here, I don't like to place too much weight on spikes because, you know, if that spike wasn't there, that sort of headline-driven news thing, then, you know, this section here would still be attached to here, making this the high here as such. So it's just, you know, I just got to take it a bit sort of carefully. But anyway, you know, the 80-72 as support or resistance, you know, is the bias that we need to look at. And you know, the other point with this too is that this can be taken as a 5 wave structure to here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into here, then an A and a B and a C wave here, and then this here looks like an impulse wave, so it can pull back to here and then move up from there. So looking at that here, we can see that this move up through on the 15-minute chart here, this move up through here, we've got the 1s and 2s building in here, we've got the 3rd, we've got the 4th, we've got the 5th. So we can look back for a 50-60% retracement level back into 80-65 area, basically the support here. So allowing that to play out there. So if it moves down through here and then develops support on top of the 72 here, then you know that you're going to be looking further up, and you'd be looking at it in terms of 5 waves up here, back into this area here, back onto support here, and then you'd see a move up here. So it'd be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. So that's something to keep in mind. So it's taken its time, but it is moving into a place here, which brings us to the euro as well. And look, to be quite frank, the euro hasn't really been moving anywhere for quite some time. We know there's some support at the 135, you know, but it could certainly still, it could just move in either direction. This 15-minute chart here, I was just looking at this here, I can see that, you know, this is a nice 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave here. It's just got the right look about it, you know. So this can be looked at as an A wave to here, and then A, B, and C here for a 3 wave for a B wave, and then 5 waves up here for the C wave. This would leave this down for 1 here, nice strong 3rd wave in the middle here, 4th and 5th for 1, so I move back into 133.50 at a rough guess here, but somewhere in this space here, and then move down through here, so down for 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So to be proved wrong, we'd want a really nice support sitting on the 135.50, a nice tested solid support. If that was the case, then you could like look to go further to the upside, but because that low there would be kept in place and would still have 5 waves off the low here. So once again, a little bit like the US dollar, we just need some evidence, you know, to come out of these patterns. There's better trades. You know, the pound is stronger as such. Even the Aussie and the New Zealand against the US dollar, they're better trades. I definitely look to the pound though. If you're a euro trader, the I'll just have a quick look at the pound euro here. So with the pound euro, it's just the 1 hour. You can see that, you know, it's really trending to the upside here. This is a strong third wave here, so we've got a fourth wave here and a fifth wave to come here. So this will be the same with the other crosses in that, you know, against the pound. It could be the pound whatever, you know. The Australia's getting back on track here to the Australian dollar here. Everything's going according to plan here. We know that on the daily it's oversold up here, and we've just been looking for the classic trading levels pattern across the 94 here. So it's the arrival, the reaction, the support, the first high above the level, then the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. We're just looking for this A wave may not be completed yet either, so it may even be down here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't really matter. The main point here is that you just allow it to have at least 3 swings across here, and then if you can recognize that and find a support on the 94, then you can go long from that point there. However, we won't miss it, because if it just moves straight up from here and I'm wrong, then, and that's fine too. It's not a matter of being wrong or right. It's a matter of doing the right thing at the right time. So in this particular case, we know that group 1 here, 10, 20, and 30, if support is found on top of group 1, a tested support, then we know that it's going to move straight up from that point and forget about the closest largest number. So that's the point that you need to be looking for. Otherwise, just chill out, allow this correction to mature, and it might get a bit more complicated than I've drawn here as well, but we'll be able to pick it up on the Monday and Tuesday for that as well. But as I mentioned before, there's not a lot sort of happening through here just yet, but there will be. The Euro Australian, well, we know that the Euro is weak and sitting on 135, and we may get bounced off there or we may not. So we know the Australian is strong. So you know, we've got this in a stronger position here. So. But once again, it's a rock and a hard place, isn't it? So it's just been vibrating across the 144, half of 72, important number in terms of Gann and Fibonacci and Elliott, I guess, in that case. But I've just been looking at this in terms of wave 5 of 3 to here, wave 4 to here, wave 5 down of 3 to here, wave 4 we were looking at 144.50 for a retracement level back up to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So, you know, this can make new lows down through here first, next. Yeah, look, I just don't think this is one of the better trades. I know that we are looking for a bit of a low in this sort of area through here, but it's not in place yet. So it's just not there's no trade here as such yet. The pound yen is well, as mentioned, the pound is a better trade. We always knew it was stronger than the euro. So look, in this structure here that we've been looking at, we haven't looked at the 4 hourly for a little while. We've just been sort of focused on this daily, intraday chart here. We've been tracking it down through here. We're looking for a retest back into the 72 area. We got that. We could see that this move down here the other day was corrective, an A, B, and a C, and we were looking at this moving to the upside. So this is where we are. This is where I want to come back here for a second. Just come back to this chart here. The standard thing, we're looking for an A wave, a B wave back into the 50-60% retracement level, and then a C wave up into this area here. The C wave can be the same length as the A wave, or even 61.8% of the A wave, but there is some sort of equality between the two here. But I think that we could also be looking at a larger pattern moving to the upside. So instead of having wave A here, we can have wave 1 here and wave 2 over here with the B wave here, and we're looking for wave 3 up. And that wouldn't surprise me, because we're looking at this really strong wave structure moving up through here, and we've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 here, and this is where we'll just come into the 15-minute chart here to look at this. So wave 2 to here, wave 1 to here, wave 2 to here, and then we're just counting this up through here. The spike makes it a little bit difficult to count, but and you know, this wave 5 here may be wrapped up in here, but the way I can see it so far is 1, 2, and then 5 little waves here for the third wave, the typical fourth wave closing, but you know, sideways and whatnot, but you know, not only closing on thing, but also closing on the Friday and the Saturday as well, so making it extra sort of complicated and choppy and whatnot. But that said, we should be moving up here further for wave 5 of wave 3. It may not move that high because wave 3 can't be the smallest in the structure. So if this is wave 1 here and it's the longest, then wave 3 is a little bit shorter here. I have to double check that though. Then wave 5 is going to be shorter still. Okay, so it may not get up to this point here. So we can look up in here somewhere. But even so, we're looking at wave 3, wave 4. This wave 4 here also can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So it'll just depend on what what the centrals are doing and the headline news and whatnot. So it can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So I'll leave that there because I like to work outside. I'd like to be conservative with things. And then wave 3, wave 5 of 3 up here. So still moving higher up. On the daily chart, you will if you have a look at the daily chart, you'll see that there's a whole series of tops playing out. So I can just drag a chart across here. You can see that on the daily here, you can see all these tops here moving through here. So there's something that we need to consider. But I can see this sitting on 170 support here. So this could really move off here. In terms of accumulation across here, equaling distribution up through here, can take us quite a lot higher. The other point that I wanted to make as well is that if we can find tested support, on a sort of reasonable larger frame here, support on 73, the top of group 1, will set the target at 75. So I think that's important to look at. The euro yen, as you can imagine, the euro being weaker, it's not really following the pound up as much. So we have been expecting a low on the stochastics here on the daily, and we have been looking down for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. We're sort of fishing for a low. We may have it, but it's not really sort of pushing to the upside that much. That said, on the 15-minute chart here, we do have a little bit of price activity here in terms that it's basically trying to find support here, isn't it? But I'm a little bit concerned about this little structure here being in 3 waves. So I'm thinking that we just need to be a bit careful here. This can be an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave to here, and then 5 sort of little waves here, even though we've got overlapping wave structures here, 5 here, then we'll have 3 back up here and down again here. So this all could be corrective here. So if to be proved wrong and get some evidence to the upside, the first thing we'd need to do is if we're going to look at being long here, then we want to be looking at support on top of group 1 here, so 138.30. So a nice tested support on here and then onto the 50. So you could gain 1 position here, 1 position here, and 1 position on the 72 here. Well, when I say 1, whatever your position size is, but just taking it easy in the building process here. And because if that's the case, then we've got this up here as wave 1, back for wave 2 here, and then we've got wave 3. So we want support on 138.30 and 50. If the 138 here becomes the retested resistance, then then you'd be looking at the short side with another move to the downside. But it's got to be sort of tested. You've got to have your reference points in, and then you need the break of those reference points, okay? So that's it. So it may follow the pound higher, but we need support on the top of group 1. And if we're going to go shorting, then we need group 2 here, which is 137.80, 137.72. So I've mentioned this number before here. It's there. So it's a 772 number. Probably doesn't mean much to a lot, but it's subtle, but it's strong. So this also here is retested resistance, where you'd be adding short positions here on the retest, failed retest here as well. Okay, well, but there is better markets than this one to trade as well. So I think steering away from the euro. Look, it's not doing much. Stocks that do follow they can lag behind. I mean, it's lagging way behind the pound. So if and it can catch up as well. So if you do see it starting to catch up to the pound, then then jump on it by all means. Yeah, and it can move quite swiftly in the catch up as well. It's just you just need to see it do it, and it's not really. It may be doing it here, but it just don't have enough evidence that it's actually the case. That's it, So, all right. Thanks for listening.